Unfortunately, we cannot share that with you because of confidentiality issues around personnel files and et cetera. And, but
you want me to read what I came up with to say? So the report that came in shortly after we were discussing this a couple weeks ago. Thank you for your submission. All communications received through this portal are referred to the appropriate process and policies for our review. If the matter involves county personnel, please understand that for privacy reasons, we cannot share the outcomes of individual employee matters. We will follow up through this portal if further information or action is needed and warranted.
So there you go. It's good, but the problem is we don't technically have a policy.
Yeah. But to your point,
We have a complaint resolution policy in our.
You're going off of that.
Yeah, we've got a discipline policy and a complaint resolution policy.
Right.
We've got two separate policies.
But I was saying a policy around the lighthouse, and how we.
Because we don't. I mean, that's how we've always done it since I've been here for a year and a half. So just because we don't have it written down doesn't mean we don't have a policy and a practice that we follow. So that has never altered since I've started, at least.
But isn't this also for whistleblowers?
Is it what?
This lighthouse
is what?
For whistleblowers as well. So it could be a member of the public, right? Who
they don't. They are not
whistleblower protections.
Public people who are. They are not whistleblowers.
Okay, so all right, a member of the public. Okay, so let's ask two questions then. So if someone who is an employee wants to bring attention to something that's going on, but is
that's why this started
or whatever, right? So that doesn't fall under this policy at all, right? But then there's also if a member of the public sees or observes or has concerns about something that's going on with county operations, this is a mechanism for them to report it, correct?
Right.
So that is not included in any policy that we currently have, right? It wouldn't be in the personnel.
Well, do we have a spot in?
Do you want to pull up the whistleblower policy? I mean, they created one when they put the website in place.
We have a place where
it doesn't state what you exactly do. Which is why I think that can be changed.
What is the expectation of anonymity? Or how?
We have a place on our website that says refers to Lighthouse.
Yeah, there is a whistleblower.
It's under the whistleblower.
Yeah, my internet is really, really slow.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, what about
build suspense?
It does.
Did receive a communication from public person regarding this.
Yep.
I was just curious as to this individual seems to think that their confidentiality was violated. That's what I'm getting.
Oh, just so we don't get too deep down that rabbit hole. I've had a conversation with Summerfield on this. I'll see where we want to go with that.
Okay.
So just for my understanding, if a county employee and a whistleblower complaint would be more about, I saw an employee stealing paper clips, or I saw another employee violating policy, et cetera, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a whistleblower complaint. Or my boss is, going home early and not whatever.
Well,
if it's
whistleblower.
What's that?
I think there's a federal definition of the word whistleblower, and I think you have to be blowing the whistle on something that's protected. So you can't just say, my boss left 5 minutes early, that's whistleblower. I don't think that is correct.
What I'm saying is that people are not allowed to use Lighthouse for what would ordinarily be termed a grievance. So if I didn't like a behavior of my supervisor, or my supervisor told me to do something that it's not in my job, something like that. If they report that in Lighthouse, they should be getting a response saying,
Need to.
Talk to HR.
you need to file a complaint.
Yeah, so
Complaint through the employment process.
this hotline is not a substitute for routine communications within our organization between employees and their supervisors and managers. So yes, correct. My understanding was that the whistleblower hotline was put in place for things like fraud. Like, I believe that we are paying
Activities.
bad invoices.
Right.
Yes, I believe that so-and-so is walking out every night with $5,000 in cash.
I think
Serious.
we need to redo that whole statement right there.
Or somebody is creating false clients and billing the county.
So maybe we need to redo this statement, reword it so that it's very clear when something comes in about, to your point, and I don't remember what it was, Sally hurting her finger, those will not be deemed
Lighthouse.
appropriate.
Yeah.
And they will not be taken seriously. Maybe we need to put an example up there of
I
something.
think that's in the policy too, because furthermore, it does say that if employees use the Lighthouse service for those, they can actually be disciplined.
Or an employee who intentionally files a false report of wrongdoing will be subject to discipline up to and including termination.
I don't know how you're gonna find out where that did it, because again, it's anonymous, but.
So, but Lighthouse is a forum for public to complain or report employee
Conduct.
misconduct or behavior that they believe is, so I see the ambulance driver, not stopping at the railroad tracks or something like that. Then that would be something that would be appropriate from the public.
And then if you guys want, we can include in that policy too, that monthly it comes to personnel and in the form of resolutions, not specifics. Like, we had 5 complaints, 4 of them were on compliance and ethics. 1 was HR related, 3 were substantiated, 1 was investigated, but nothing came of it. Or, just very top level nature number.
10,000 foot view.
Don't know that this is maybe altogether relevant to the Lighthouse process and procedure, but I would assume that you might receive something that might be considered an ethics complaint. The county board members or employees. When was the last time the ethics committee met? Does anybody know?
They have never since I've been.
What?
They have never since I've been here.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't recall it.
And I think if you look at the ethics committee's job description, so to speak, I think in the past, I recall that most ethics complaints that were given any credence at all were usually related to some sort of financial, in other words, somebody's getting paid to, with a contract for the county that they shouldn't be getting. It's almost all those statutory conflict of interest issues. But the county don't really have a code of ethics.
No, we do have a code of ethics, and actually we have received those complaints before on elected officials through this portal. And in working with Corp Counsel, what we do is we respond and we would say, I'm sorry, we have that. There's one right now, so I can't really say.
Ham said he didn't do that.
Yeah, so that's interesting that you brought this up. So there's one right now. So Corp Counsel and I are working with the board chair because there is a procedure in the ordinance on how to file an actual ethics complaint. So just shooting this through the Lighthouse portal, unfortunately, doesn't meet the requirements. You can't say this elected official broke ethics, I want this investigated, because there's an actual ordinance saying what you need to do to get it investigated.
Yeah, and it's pretty narrow.
It truly is. It's very,
And a lot of people do think that a lot of things are ethics violations when, according to our ordinances, they're maybe
Or
not.
statute.
The ordinance is pretty narrow, and to your point about monetary, that's one of the few things you can,
That's pretty
About
much,
ethics, yeah.
ethics, yeah. Yeah, I've read it a couple times.
Who do these complaints go to again? Did you mention 3 entities?
HR, court counsel, and administrative coordinator.
Anything else? Or did we agree we're gonna take a look at the policy and tweak it, and you guys will come back?
You guys what?
What I'm hearing.
And you're gonna give some kind of start giving a monthly report.
Yeah.
Did that sound okay, what I just said?
Right?
And that'll come back as an actionable next month.
Yeah.
Sure, it'll continue to evolve.
Yeah, put it this way, because it's wasn't clear on what everybody
Well,
wants.
I'm good with it. I mean, I'm just saying we can't do anything about the policy other than read it if we don't have it actionable.
Yeah.
But I know you know that. I'm fine with that. I just think we need to, back when a bunch of stuff came up to personnel, and I might have said this before, we didn't know what to do. We were getting some of these frivolous ones, and
Still get those.
yeah, and it was like, okay, we can't deal with this every month. So it was like, let's do this. But maybe that wasn't
My ex-
100% perfect thing on how to handle
Well,
it.
it's never perfect, and I will agree that I'm prejudiced against this type of forum because you get those frivolous, pissed off complaints all the time.
Yes, and
This big company I worked for instituted this, and a bunch of us were sitting at corporate and we're going, I have no idea if Pandora's box you're going to open up with this, because every person sitting around a table in this room is going to be a target.
Yep.
That's what it turns into.
yeah, it is. But maybe we need to put some more, let's be honest. Most people, when they file a complaint like this, it's because they're upset over something or feeling possibly in a retaliatory state themselves.
That's the only people that file a complaint like this.
So they don't do their research. And if it's the general public and they know they can do it anonymous, do they give a crap if there's rules around this? If
They don't. No, they don't.
because they don't expect for us to find out who filed it.
I think the worst thing in the world, though, well, not the worst thing in the world, but the feeling that nobody's listening. When, if you just get a kind of a blank response that, thank you for your letter, and you never feel like anything is done, I think people feel like we're not listening. And there's a lot of misunderstanding about, I see people complaining about potholes in the city
All the time.
and wondering why they aren't firing up the asphalt plant out at the county to fix the potholes in the city. I have some questions about why we're not firing up the asphalt plant, but that has nothing to do with potholes in the city. And people consistently do not understand the difference between city government and county government.
And just for the record, they are going to be firing up the asphalt. Some winter mixes here, so the city needs to get their order in.
I got a driveway that needs work.
That we can't do.
I know.
I wish we could.
Can I ask an information question that's totally irrelevant?
Sure, and then we'll finish this up.
I wonder why when I'm out on the highway and they're blacktopping the highway, right? And 20 minutes after the big roller goes over that section, people are driving on it. And they blacktop a street in Ladysmith and they block it off for a week. Don't let anybody drive on the new blacktop for a week.
Should have asked Kurt when he was here.
Huh?
Should have asked Kurt when he was here.
Well,
I would think the quality material would be the same, but
that's what I'm thinking.
I'm not 100% sure.
That's just one of those mysterious.
Okay, so we good?
I'm good.
Okay.
This will be put on the agenda next month or next meeting.
For an action item. Yep. Council RFPs.